And Hooker. Pearson in the red, Hooker in the black. What a reception there for the local fighter, Dan Hooker.
Ross Pearson promised to be a different guy in this fight, so he changed everything about the way he trained. He said he used to overtrain drastically, and he really admitted, he said, I failed to innovate with the sport, and I've stayed the same guy. I've got to put it all together. I've got to be able to grapple, be able to switch stances, I've got to be able to throw change-ups in this sport. Look for more innovative Ross Pearson tonight.
Well, with that being said, Dan Hooker is a real student of the game. He watches and analyzes absolutely everything. Nice exchange there.
Very bright, cerebral guy. He's trained all over the place, spent a lot of time in Thailand, but now here at home. Big thing, he's got to maximize that reach. He's got 6 inches. We've seen him collapse that reach before, allowing Jason Knight to get inside. He's got to get better tonight if he wants to keep Ross Pearson at distance.
4 minutes left in this round, if the clock is not appearing on your screens. And one thing that I wanted to talk to you about, actually, so Dan Hooker saying that he spent his whole time at City Kickboxing back here in New Zealand. Anyone who's listening locally, he kind of says, I've been everywhere, and yet I think I have the best training here. I don't need to travel, which just shows the evolution of the sport over here.
Well, and we've seen that work. Look at what Max Holloway has been able to do in his hometown and build a camp around his home, as he just realized his dreams last weekend. And Dan Hooker now finding his range, landing some nice leg kicks, but establishing his jab early. Very smart approach now from Dan Hooker.
Ross Pearson started up his own gym, Central Coast MMA, invited in Rich Fogarty. Is he someone you're familiar with? I know that he spent a lot of time over at Jackson Wink.
Yeah, a very good guy. Trained Kyle Noak for a long time UFC welterweight, and I really like what Ross Pearson did there a moment ago. Actually shot in for a single. Really didn't mean to finish it, just to show it and open up his strikes. Not something we've seen before from Ross Pearson.
It's been a frustrating time for Pearson, who must be coming in feeling the pressure ahead of this one. Just hasn't delivered the final results of volume, if you like.
A pretty combination there. He hasn't forgotten his identity, but obviously when you're getting stale in your career, people have you figured out, you're predictable, you got to change something up, and that's what Ross Pearson did. Training in Australia, being more fresh, taking days off, resting. That takes discipline. A lot of these fighters, they train too hard, too much.
Slashing leg kicks here by Dan Hooker, but he was made to pay for the last one, as Pearson counted with the right hand. Ooh, he's such a technical boxer, isn't he, Pearson? Really nice head movement on the feet.
Well, and you know, he's been predictable in his past fights. So when I look at his last fights against Stevie Ray and Masvidal, it's the same rhythm. Here tonight, he's breaking up his timing a little bit better. Feinting, faking, pausing, and changing tempo every once in a while. That makes you harder to defend.
But Hooker is using his physical attributes very nicely, very quick as well.
Hooker looks massive in there. Looks like a welterweight.
Yeah. Unbelievable to think that he was fighting down the feather.
Yeah, he looks so much better at this weight class. Doesn't look depleted. Oh! Blocked. But really nice timing there from Hooker. Showing a lot of diversity in his arsenal. Striking well backwards and forward so far tonight.
Oh, nice shot there on the entry by Pearson. Clipped him with the left hand whilst he went in on the hips. A bit of distance for the knee and the uppercuts.
Really nice shot there from Hooker, but defended exceptionally well by Ross Pearson.
I'm interested to see Hooker right in the chops.
Boy, and nicely done, gets right out of range and gets back to work. Again, the variety that Dan Hooker's thrown at him. And being smart, right? He's using his reach advantage. Something he didn't do in his last fight. You can see some real growth here in the striking of Dan Hooker.
Yeah, great fight so far here. Round number 1, the lightweight division. 30 seconds left. That's a big kick there from Pearson. Loaded up that one. Hooker's head coach, Eugene Baird.
Lead leg of Ross Pearson starting to wear it a little bit from these leg kicks.
His coach said they used science to measure progress and everything has charted well. They also believe they have the correct strategy in place. So final seconds here in the opening stanza. will be back in 30 seconds. That power in a straight line. So round number 2. It's really going to affect the movement of Ross Pearson if this strategy of leg kicks proves successful for Hooker, but he's backed up by a big shot there.
And Pearson's always best when he kind of goes side to side, head side to side, feints and moves his way inside. Prevents him from whiffing like he did there with the leaping left hook. I like that he went for a couple takedowns in round 1. However, he didn't really get close with any of them. He really wants to get Dan Hooker thinking about that he's going to need to shoot out here in the open. And I don't know if he has that in his arsenal. We'll see.
But also, Dan Hooker's been very good at defending takedowns, 75% in the UFC. Crowd really getting behind their man as he is using that lead left hand very effectively.
The jab is such an important weapon, and we're really, in the last year, seeing it evolve in mixed martial arts and dictate fights. Something we really didn't see earlier on in the sport, except, you know, Georges St. Pierre did a heck of a job dictating fights with his jab.
This is really artistic striking from Hooker. I like the way that he's varying up the pace and power of that jab.
And just as you say that, Pearson varies up his counter. He slipped the jab twice now, countered with combos and landed effectively. Good adjustment for Ross Pearson. Again, he does it. He's got the timing of Hooker's jab now. Hooker should feint it. He should pump fake it a little bit, because now Ross Pearson's on the initiative.
Caught there.
Ooh, again, look at the head movement side to side. He's stealing real estate to get inside. Bloodied up the nose now of Dan Hooker.
Nice combination there by Hooker. Big right hand, but Pearson closes the distance.
Oh, Pearson, he let him off the hook there. You get him trapped up against the fence, you got to capitalize.
It's that Mike Tyson style lead left hook that he likes to plant.
Especially when he sets it up with Mike Tyson style footwork to get inside.
I love the way Pearson can like bob his head like a cork in the ocean and then finish off. There you go with a nice uppercut. But the antidote to that is the straight punches of Dan Hooker.
Well, and Hooker's really shown tonight that he's able to strike effectively going backwards. Oh, lands another gorgeous right hand there as well. And if he continues to attack that lead leg, it's going to make it difficult for Pearson to plant and dig and get side to side to get inside.
Let's have a listen into the corner of Dan
Ranks, brother,
Hooker.
please. Reset! Reset! Ranks in! Reset, good man, good man. Find your range, now!
Oh! That's it! There it is!
Absolutely beautiful. How about fighting going backwards, plants, boom! He timed it. The side-to-side duck in the head, getting past his jab, was working and effective. Hooker anticipated it. How do you affect it? How do you stop it from happening? Throw a knee right up the middle. Beautiful timing, gorgeous technique from Dan Hooker. Let's take a listen here, real